has been spending his entire career. Raheem is 3 years older, 2 inches taller, has a 1 inch arm length advantage as measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. Yesterday, they both made weight at 126. This morning, according to a rule of one of the governing bodies, Rocky Juarez had to get on a scale again to prove that he had not gained more than 10 pounds because this fight is seen by that governing body as an eliminator for their title shot. Juarez made the grade, but Larry, Zaheer Raheem refused to get on that scale and therefore has sacrificed his chance to gain a title shot if in fact he wins this fight.
Yeah, you know, Raheem has fought virtually all of his fights for the last 6 years at the junior lightweight or lightweight level. He's made the featherweight level just once. So I think the reason that they have refused to get on the scale is that he's probably put on upwards of 15 pounds for this fight. He really isn't a legitimate featherweight.
But he is a legitimate boxer, and that's why some regard this fight as dangerous for Juarez. Let's take a look at the rules with unofficial ringside scorer Harold Letterman.
The Rocky Juarez Zaheer Raheem fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules that you see on your screen. Jim, real quick, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, Harold. And now here comes Zaheer Raheem.
I have a question for you, Emmanuel. Coming down in weight like this, does it give him an advantage because he may be stronger, or does it make him weaker because he hasn't been fighting at this level?
It's a lot of controversy with that, Larry. I think one of the big advantages is the fact that they weigh in almost 30 hours before they weigh, so you had a great chance.
Well, what did he weigh when you had him around the gym?
When he was training with me in Detroit about a little over a year ago, he was around 145 pounds, and he was in good shape then. He was a solid 145 pounds.
I got another question. How could this guy, who's still unbeaten at 25-0, who was on an Olympic team in 1996, have gone 2 years in 1999 and 2000 with a total of only 3 fights, with gaps of 16 and 11 months between fights? How did that happen?
Well, he just is one of those kids who's never been able to pull it all together, has been with various promoters, and finally decided that his time has come, or it will never be, and will go.
And so as Zaheer gets into the ring, let's take a closer look at him with Larry Merchant.
Raheem is a real shot fighter in the sense that he left Philadelphia after he was shot in the back in a training gym. That convinced him to get a U-Haul, and he hauled himself to Tulsa, where his promoter Tony Holden lives. How does he fit in Tulsa after coming from Philadelphia? You get in where you fit in, he says.
This will be the 21st professional fight of Rocky Juarez's career. It will be the 7th time that he's fought here in his hometown of Houston. Sometimes for a young fighter, fighting at home presents too big a distraction, but in this case, Emmanuel Stewart, I guess Rocky has already mastered this thing.
I think he'll be able to handle it pretty well, but as we saw with Dominic Gwynn and some of the other fighters, sometimes you have too many distractions when you have your fights in your hometown. Everybody wants tickets and all those things, but I think that Rocky will handle it very well. This should be a tremendous fight.
Rocky's well-known trainer, Ronnie Shields, says it's a myth to think you have to take a fighter away from his home and train him in remote circumstances for him to be good. Rocky's a lot better if he just stays right here.
You've heard us frequently mention him along with Jermaine Taylor and Miguel Cotto and Jose Navarro as those 4 2000 Olympians who have so far stood out. This is his night to find out whether he belongs in that upper echelon.
A skilled inside fighter with an explosive left hook. And here's a closer look.
He has actually got the name Rocky on his birth certificate. His father took a look at his sturdy little body and said, he's a Rocky Marciano. His grandfather was a fighter in Mexico, but retired after his first fight in which he knocked the other guy out. The reason he retired, his purse was 75 cents. Juarez got a little bit more when he won the silver in Sydney in a big robbery, the worst robbery in Olympics since Roy Jones in Seoul, but he did walk away with $1 million bonus to turn pro.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a main events presentation sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, sponsored by Miller Lite, and this bout is co-promoted with Tony Holden Promotions. The three judges at ringside scoring the contest will be Hugh Eccles, Lee McCowan, and David Sutherland. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Robert Gonzalez. And now, two undefeated fighters, somebody's must go. 12 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division on the line. IBF Elimination and WBC Continental Americas Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver and his official weight, 126 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one. 25 bouts, 25 victories, including 15 knockouts. Fighting out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, here is the undefeated Zaheer. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trimmed with black, officially weighing in at 126 pounds also a perfect professional record, consisting of 20 bouts, 20 victories, including 14 knockouts. He's the pride of Houston, Texas, the defending and undefeated champion, Ricardo Rocky Juarez.
Gentlemen, both of you professional fighters, conduct yourselves as professionals. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you. God bless you. May the best man win.
Raheem is definitely the bigger fighter. Will it give him a big advantage? Or will coming down in weight hurt him?
It could hurt him too, Larry. It could go either way. And the main thing I think that's going to be to Rocky Juarez's advantage is what I said in the last fight. I like the fighter who's been the most active fighter. In this case, Juarez still has been more active. And against, even though he's the inexperienced, comparatively better quality of fighters, I feel. And I think that could give Rocky Juarez an advantage.
He's about a 6-5 favorite, so.
But he's in with a very good seasoned fighter right now who's full of tricks, can do a little bit of everything, and will do whatever's necessary to win a fight.
Raheem promises to start off with his jab and make Juarez prove he can box. In case you just joined us, the first of our three fights was tremendously exciting. Knockout artist Kermit Cintron got another TKO. His 22nd in 24 fights remained unbeaten. Let's see if Juarez can do the same for the promoter who has put him at risk tonight.
Right now, Raheem is boxing, pulling out, and then going underneath a lot, trying to give a very difficult target for Juarez to punch at, whereas a lot of guys have been more upright. But I think as the fight goes on, Juarez is going to have to figure out how to catch him as he's bending down.
Right, step back. Got that holding. Box.
Left-hand counter for Juarez landed inside. Raheem has thrown the jab both to the body and to the head. You can see Raheem focusing on the chest with that jab right now.
Yeah. Juarez cannot figure out right now how to get to Raheem because of the angle that he's bending his body, bending over to the right, and then pulling back sometimes just out of the zone. So he's right now trying to adjust to how to find him, how to hit him. He can't get anything to work him yet.
When he's bending his body over to the right, though, he's leaning toward Juarez's left hook. Did that come back to haunt him ultimately?
I think that's going to be the punch. It's the kind of left hook, uppercut type punch he's going to have to shoot.
Double left hand by Raheem. Juarez hasn't been able to find the boxing answer to what Raheem is doing in round one. Zaheer continues to jab to the body and stay low. It's been a good round so far for the statement Raheem wanted to make in the first round. Jabbing, boxing, staying away from Juarez's counters.
Oh, he's having a very good successful round in terms of making it very difficult for Juarez to line up a good solid punch. His angles, his body movements, moving in and out with his feet, upper body movement is all very confusing for Juarez at this stage.
And he lands a left hand as Juarez continues to search for an answer. Crowd chants, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
It's a nervous chant because they see right away that he's in with a serious threat.
And what the difficulty is.
Very serious. And just when you're so preoccupied with trying to catch up with Zaheer, then he throws a right-hand lead on left hook when you least expect it.
Rocky Juarez hasn't really had a big moment in round one. Zaheer Raheem has made his tactical statement and landed 2 solid left hooks.
Good round. He's trying to set you up with a jab. He's trying to pick you down the bottom, picking you up and throw the right hand. That's what he's doing. You know that. Okay, I want that jab going. I want you to walk it. I want that left hand up as soon as you get through with it. I want you to snap the punches. Don't let him reach.
Step with the jab, baby.
All right? Deep breath, deep breath.
Keep on stepping with the jab. Step with it to the belly, too. You drop the right hand to his chest. Keep on turning.
Doing good, baby. Doing good. Use that jab, man. Use your speed.
Keep up and down with the jab.
Use your speed. Take a deep breath.
Keep up, baby. 1.
Suck in, son. Suck in. You better handle your speed too long, baby. You
Keep the jab on when you go backwards, too.
You shake your butt when you hit it. You're doing real good. Just
Zaheer Raheem's trainer, Fred Jenkins, welcomed the kid into a gym in North Philadelphia back when Raheem was 9 years old. He said of this fight, it's too easy a matchup. I can't believe they'd put a slow plotter like Rocky Juarez in against a skilled fighter like my guy.
One thing you always had to remember, Juarez is a tremendous puncher, especially for that weight division. And his punches are short, active punches, so you can never relax with him. And he's been fighting fairly active, too. As the fight goes on, I think pretty soon he's going to start filling out a way that he can penetrate and be more effective.
Juarez's lifetime trainer, Rayon Taveras, very calm between rounds, patiently trying to tell his young fighter what it was that Raheem was trying to do. We are in Houston, Texas, the Reliant Arena, boxing after dark. Tremendous triple header. 3 unbeaten young prospects, any of whom with a chance to lose tonight. Kermit Cintron came into the first fight 23-0, had some very nervous moments against hard-punching Teddy Reed, got hit, was put in jeopardy a few times, but managed to come out with an 8th-round TKO and kept his perfect record intact. Now Rocky Juarez in the red trunks is trying to do the same in front of a home crowd, but he's fighting an unbeaten fighter in Zaheer Raheem, who's won all 25 of his professional bouts since going to the Atlanta Olympics in '96.
And Raheem is fighting a very good fight in terms of not only skill, but has good hand speed, too. And I don't think that's something that Rocky is used to, the hand speed that he's got. And every time that Rocky does land a punch, I've noticed Raheem comes right back with a punch that prevents him from getting his confidence up.
But in the past 30 seconds, Juarez has moved perceptibly closer to Raheem, seems to have made the decision that he's going to have to step up inside of Raheem's jab and his boxing game to try to find openings.
Yeah, as the fight goes on, you're going to see Raheem possibly start slowing down a little bit more, just enough for Rocky to be a little bit more effective. And he's getting much closer before he punches. He realizes you cannot throw punches at a long distance when you're fighting a guy like Raheem.
Absolutely. Juarez has decided to stalk more aggressively. He's going to have to take a little bit more leather as a result. But now, in the last minute of the fight, for the first time, Juarez has begun to land with some consistency.
Yes, he's putting a lot faster pressure than he was in the beginning, and he's punching much shorter after he gets much closer.
Body shot with the right hand by Juarez. Raheem slightly more tentative than in the first round. And a viewer has called in to ask, why don't we show the round card girls anymore? Well, we do. Because here comes Crystal Gilbert, tonight's star round card gal from Houston. She's a model here in town. How do you get a body that looks like that? Well, you run 3 miles 3 times a week. You train with a professional trainer 4 times per week. And here's the most important part, Manny. You've got to do, Crystal told us, 250 crunches per day. If you can do the 250 crunches per day, you get the diamond stud in your belly button, Larry.
I think you got to have pretty good genes, too. Raheem is trying to join, excuse me, the best-known fighters of the '96 Olympics. David Reed was from Philadelphia also. He grew up with him, and now he's retired. Fernando Vargas has been injured and probably will be out for at least a year before he comes back. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. Still going very strong.
Once again, here in round 3, you can see that Rocky Juarez is trying to step in closer and starting to mount his own offensive attack against Raheem.
The right hand landed. You know, Rocky is a fighter like Juarez has been in with guys like this all his career from the amateurs on, of guys who are trying to out-slick him. So theoretically, at least, he knows how to attack him, and it's just a question of how good Raheem can do it.
And also, I don't think as a professional, though, which is nearly for almost 4 years now, he has not fought this type of a fighter professionally. I think in amateurs that's true, but as a professional fighter, so he may have almost forgotten how to fight those type guys.
In a quiet moment yesterday, Rocky Juarez said to me, I've spent my whole life walking guys like this down. I'll just have to walk him down too. And that's what he's trying to do. Keep the pressure on, stay close, get closer, and land inside. Raheem continues to pop his jab and continues to try to stay at distance to fight a tactical fight. Good left hook by Zaheer Raheem. Got around Rocky Juarez's right glove. Sticks the jab right up the middle of Juarez's glove. And there's the left hook lands for Rocky Juarez.
2 of them, and Raheem holds on.
Hold that guy. Stop that wrestling. Stop holding behind it. Stop holding down the head.
Referee Robert Gonzalez warns Raheem for holding behind the head. Rocky Juarez has had some spectacular one-punch knockouts with the left hook.
But he's getting closer and closer before he punches. The fight is going pretty much, as I said, after about 3 rounds, he's going to pretty much adjust to Raheem by getting closer and closer to him before he punches it. And Raheem is not that effective bending down the way he was in the beginning now. He's beginning to stay more upright.
And as he stands more upright, Juarez begins to get to his body.
And even when he goes down now, Juarez has learned how to change the left uppercut, the left hook, whichever way you call it, to be effective when he bends over to the right now.
Juarez's best punch is definitely the left hook, both to the body and to the head. Lands another right hand upstairs. Raheem is starting to look more and more at referee Robert Gonzalez as if to say, he's hitting me. What can we do about this? And there's blood trickling from the left nostril of Zaheer Raheem.
All right, your legs is dead. Relax, baby.
Keep on stepping. Keep on stepping. That weight killed me, man.
Now listen to me. Now listen to me.
1 week from tonight, don't miss 140-pound belt holder Artur Gatti when he puts himself to the test and his title on the line against Leonard Doreen, the hard-charging former lightweight titleist. Also that night, junior welterweight star in the making Francisco Panchito Bojado takes on Jesse James Leah, who should present quite a challenge for the 21-year-old prospect.
Deep breath, suck up, son. We've been here before.
Did you hear what he said?
Nope.
Between rounds.
Use your smarts. Hit the bucket. Turn around. Use your smarts in there. Deep breath. You got to breathe in there.
For all practical reasons, the fight is pretty much going strictly to Rocky Juarez now, because Raheem said himself, making the weight has killed me. He said, my legs are dead. I mean, so right now, once that is set into a fighter's mind, and he's not a devastating one-punch puncher himself, for the most part, he's lost the fight.
He's already making excuses to his cornerman.
I'm glad you called that. I in fact, called to our producer and our trucks to find out what actually was said, because the word I heard was, it's killed me. And what you heard apparently was making the weight.
He said, my legs are dead, and he said, making the weight has killed me. So evidently what we said earlier, he probably lost about 40 solid pounds of weight to make this weight, and he was already in good shape. It has taken his effect down.
Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. I don't know. Maybe he's losing it with his legs. Maybe he's not. But I got a 2-1, 29-28, Zaheer Raheem. Jim, rounds 1 and 2, Zaheer Raheem just outslicked him. Round 3, Rocky Juarez landed the good left hooks and won it easily. One thing, Bobby Gonzalez, one of the best referees in the world, is giving both these guys the waistband. When Raheem jams to the body, hits him right out of waistband, Gonzalez is not calling it low.
Well, Tim Adams did the same thing in the first fight. Maybe it's a Texas guideline.
1 point, hold
And now, Robbie Gonzalez deducts a point from Zaheer Raheem for holding behind the head. He warned him about it in the second round.
I wouldn't really agree with that call, but I go along with it, but I don't think that was a big factor.
I agree with you.
Left hook lands, and Raheem goes down to 1 knee.
Yeah.
He decided to go down to 1 knee. He wasn't knocked down.
Yeah, he's lost his confidence.
So he was hurt, and right now this is a 3-point round, and we'll see how much he's got left.
And you saw Raheem perhaps look over to his right outside the ring, where his promoter Tony Holden was standing up in the 3rd row screaming, get back in there and fight. Straight right hand lands for Juarez. And Raheem falls to the canvas again.
I think that was a knockdown.
I think it was a knockdown too, but Robert Gonzalez ruled nothing, even though Raheem's knee hit the canvas.
That was legitimately a knockdown.
So Juarez misses a chance at the second knockdown of the round. For whatever reason, Gonzalez didn't see it. But he's already got that point anyway, as the result of the penalty for holding behind the head.
Yeah, but it's another point, Jim. You could make it a 4-point round.
Yep.
I don't think he's really just clinching. He's doing the best he can. When the guy gets close to him like that, he's clinching like any tall fighter or boxer tries to do.
You're using the whole ring. You understand that? Kick your legs up, son. You got it. Kick your legs up. Listen to me, man. You got to relax a little more. All right? And use your ability.
You understand? Don't hold me on the head.
Use the whole ring. That's where you get your rest at, G. You understand? Step in.
Give us some more water.
Here's a look at the knockdown. A crushing left hook. Raheem wobbly, decides to take the count. Probably a wise thing to do to keep Juarez off of him. Shows some of his experience. But you wonder now what he's got left. Now there's later in the round where he went down briefly after a punch from Juarez.
Round 5 begins. Momentum of the bout consistently flowing now in Juarez's favor.
Well, let's see if Raheem has the qualities of a champion, whether he can suck it up and make it go.
Now Raheem suddenly has his quickness back as he fires the jab and pops it into Juarez's face. Raheem at least listening to trainer Fred Jenkins, who said use the whole ring. He's doing it. And this momentarily stops Juarez's momentum.
Yeah, he's winning the fight so far at this point. Juarez is a tremendous short puncher, though. It's amazing the power that he gets on his short punches. And he gets very close before he shoots the punches, where you have very little time to anticipate him.
One more time, Gonzalez saying to Raheem, you're holding behind the head again. It's going to be very difficult for Zaheer to continue in the fight without being penalized, as this is just a natural motion for him.
This is a natural motion. I don't see it as red. It's a natural motion. The guy's coming in, short guy with his head down. I mean, you clinch him, you tie him up, or hold him around the head. That's only normal.
Raheem lands a right-hand flush on Juarez. Juarez almost slipped after that punch. Look at how relentlessly Rocky stalks Raheem, and now trying to cut off the ring as Raheem tries to use the entire canvas surface.
Well, Gonzalez has this holding on the head on his head, and he may penalize Raheem again. I agree with you, Emmanuel. I don't see anything that has interfered with the fight.
This is a situation where Zaheer Raheem's promoter, Tony Holden, was infuriated a week ago to learn that 3 Texas judges and a Texas referee had been assigned to the fight. He saw that as a tremendous advantage for Juarez. So Holden weighed in, tried to make his presence felt, and ultimately got the Texas State Commission to assign 1 Oklahoma-based judge. But Gonzalez is a Texas referee, and Juarez is getting the best of it in there from him, as well as getting the best of Zaheer Raheem as the fight goes on.
Right. Bob.
In that round, Zaheer Raheem regained some of his energy and regained tactical control of the fight.
He won that round. I thought it was a very good round for him.
When he goes down around a little bit, we can't let him dictate the pace. We got to take it away from him. We got to walk him.
This is the second of our 3 fights tonight. The third one sees a lightweight title on the line as Lak Basim from Mongolia takes on another local product, Juan Diaz, who's a junior at the University of Houston, as well as a hard-punching, entertaining fighter nicknamed the Baby Bull.
Feel for him, Z. Touch him here, touch him there, touch him here. Z, just keep touching him, all right? Keep touching him, all right? We told you, man. You're doing real good.
CompuBox numbers through round 5 find both fighters throwing the same number of power punches, but CompuBox find Juarez landing twice as many. Juarez 29 out of 82, Raheem 13 out of 82. And you can see that Harold Letterman agreed with Emmanuel Stewart that Zaheer Raheem was the winner of the last round in the fight. So now we get to the 6th of the scheduled 12.
Raheem's trainer, Freddie Ginger, is doing a good job. He's giving him the best instructions that he could get. He seemingly is not even dwell on dealing with the fact that he was complaining about his legs, his weight. He just ignored that and is giving him instructions on how to win the fight, and I think that's very good.
Seems to have his legs back now, too.
I mean, I think his thing is his confidence. I just, you know, he's still, to me, doesn't have as much confidence as he should have. Juarez still has the confidence.
Fascinating that a fighter with a 25-0 record might be low on confidence.
Well, you know, when he was complaining about his legs and losing weight, I saw a lot of the best fighters in the world never complain at all.
Well, for all we know, he may have had conversations at least with his promoter about whether he should be fighting as a featherweight. One of the sanctioning groups rates him, according to Tony Holden, as a junior lightweight.
I thought he should have fought as a junior lightweight when I was training him. All lightweight.
Think about complaining to your trainer, as Raheem did earlier. Once you're in the ring, it's academic. And now here's another point deducted from Raheem.
Stop that holding, it's going to cost you. 5.
Robert Gonzalez, the referee, is fixated on what he sees as holding behind the head by Zaheer Raheem. He has now penalized Raheem twice, and that sets up a potential disqualification if, in Gonzalez's view, Raheem continues to do it.
I don't think Raheem has done anything that terrible.
When a guy's pushing forward like that, I mean, it's all you can do if you're the taller fighter. Ali would have been disqualified a million times if that was the case.
And one more time, Gonzalez looked at Raheem and held his finger up to say, you're holding him behind the head. You could see Raheem trying to think of where to put his hand as the two of them came together in the center of the ring.
If you got a little guy to get punched with so much power with short punches and he gets close to you, the first thing you do is try to tie him up.
Uppercut by Juarez. There's blood in there, which I assume is still from the left nostril of Raheem. But it's all over Juarez's nose and ears.
Throw some punches, because he's throwing to make them points back. You understand? They're taking points away. Make him hold you. Make him work you. If he works, he's gonna hold you. If he don't work, he's not gonna hold you. He's gonna make better punches. He's gonna make him points. When you go in there, throw some combination. I don't want this one. You understand? I will. It's not that deep. Okay, let me get off of me.
All right, here's what it was called holding behind the head by Raheem, and which wound up right there.
That's only normal for a tall fighter when a guy's pulling in with his head down.
All right, technically it's right, but common sense tells you what?
Common sense tells me it's normal.
Well, and common sense tells you it's not affecting the fight because he's not hitting Juarez when he holds him.
Absolutely.
He's simply being penalized for holding him. Harold, how do you have it through 6, and do you still think Gonzalez is one of the best referees in the world?
Well, Jimmy's got a lot of experience. I like Bobby Gonzalez a lot. Anyway, 3 rounds apiece, 57-54 in points. Rocky Juarez. You know, Jim, like Emmanuel said, Muhammad Ali used to do that all the time. Grab you behind the head and tie you up. Nobody ever did anything about it. When you train a fighter and you teach him to tie a guy up after he gets hit, under normal circumstances, you tell him to grab the guy behind the elbows. Obviously, Raheem's not tying him up that way. It's bothering Bobby Gonzalez that Raheem is tying him up by grabbing him behind the head, and that's why he took the 2 points.
Well, you know, did you see Joe Frazier getting right in Ali's chest, and Ali standing there slugging with him when he got so close? When he got in a certain zone, only normally tied him up. But Lennox Lewis did the same thing with Mike Tyson.
Hard right hand by Juarez, good left hook by Raheem. Raheem in the last 2 rounds nearly doubled the connected punches total for Rocky Juarez. So once again, as we mentioned, he's regained tactical control of the bout. He's just in a difficult position on the scorecards because of a knockdown and 2 deducted points for holding.
Raheem seemed to have got his confidence back, and it's surprising me, it's got right back into this fight.
Look at the punching variety by Raheem. He's landing from all angles now.
His biggest problem is a referee at this stage, not Juarez.
Juarez has gone into a little bit of a shell here as he allows Raheem to set the tone of the fight offensively. Now Juarez beats Raheem to the punch twice with the jab.
But Raheem is still got to be very careful of Rocky Juarez's short punches, because he can take you out with any hand, either hand, anytime if he catches those short punches.
Yesterday in our fighter meeting, Larry Merchant asked Raheem if he thought he might have to knock Juarez out to get a draw.
The referees are the bigger problem right now than Rocky is.
It was a joke, Tim.
Is it still a joke?
Less of a joke right now. Now it may be a prophecy.
Another good flurry by Zaheer Raheem. This has been one of his best rounds. Juarez has only had a couple of moments in this round. Raheem has generally been able to do what he wants.
And in this case, you can worry about a kid like Juarez to lose his focus and his concentration.
There's so much water on this time.
All right, we got no more water. Drink it, baby. Down, baby. How you feel? Huh? Talk to us, man. It's your time, man. You feel the same way you feel all the time when you're in the gym, all right? This guy shouldn't be taking that away from you. You're not strong, you do that, and this guy take the pace now. You're going in there not doing nothing. You need to get in there with a jab right hand. Solid. I mean, solid. You just cannot waste the time. You understand? Okay. Let me look. Water.
Round 8 coming up.
Raheem went on the offense in this round with a little bit more conviction than we've seen in recent rounds. And maybe he likes the feel of that rather than just skipping away. He beat Juarez to the punch consistently.
Yeah, it seems like his confidence is growing as the fight is going on, too.
Now Raheem looks indeed like a confident fighter. After the last round in which he realized that he could land his jab, he could follow behind it, he could counter at those moments when Juarez tried to mount an offense. And Juarez appears off balance as Raheem seizes the initiative and begins to attack him more freely.
Yeah. Juarez is a little bit slower. If you notice, he moves in walking on his left heel, making initial contact, whereas Raheem is on his toes. The ball of his feet makes initial contact, so it gives him a big advantage for his footwork.
Surely Juarez thought that by this stage of the fight, he'd be inside trying to hammer Raheem and walk him down. He had that situation a few rounds ago, but not now. Second warning, what does that mean? He's already deducted 2 points.
See, when a referee and a fighter gets this type of a confrontation, it really takes the fighter's focus a lot off his opponent, which makes it very vulnerable for him to get caught with a good punch. Because right now, I think Raheem's more focused just about equally on the referee as it is on his opponent.
Which makes it doubly impressive that he's fighting as well as he is.
It's amazing. And right now, I'm beginning to wonder if Rocky is beginning to lose his concentration and focus.
I wonder if all this stuff about holding behind the head has distracted Juarez, too.
Juarez is still punching with good power, though.
But Raheem is out landing him 2-1.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely winning the fight now. He's taking control.
He's winning the round. And Emmanuel, he's not winning the fight yet. He fell behind. Fight for 3 points.
We talked about the risk that promoter Main Events was taking with its 3 young star fighters tonight. And here you see that risk graphically portrayed as Rocky Juarez is being outboxed by the more skillful Zaheer Raheem even before his home crowd in Houston, Texas.
Watch your heads, both of you.
Good uppercut by Juarez. Good left hook inside by Raheem.
But Raheem cut right back. He refused to let him take control.
Go back, right.
Raheem managed to get his left hand off of Juarez's head in there. Holds it here above Juarez's shoulder, trying to avoid another one of those holding calls from Robert Gonzalez. Big right hand to punctuate the round by Zaheer Raheem. He's coming back.
Deep breath, son. You got to refresh yourself. Take a deep breath in here. Come on. Let's go. Go down, turn the left hand to an uppercut. Easy. Uppercut, right hand. But you can't go in there and dictate. If you go dictate it, get outside. Let him follow you. But don't go in there and just don't do nothing. You understand? We lost this last 2 rounds. Now he's a sucker for the left uppercut. You understand? Keep measuring him with the jabs, see? Touch him, then with the bomb. Touch him, then with the bomb.
Keep on boxing him. Keep on boxing him, baby.
Hands up. Let's go.
Between rounds, or during the late stages of the last round, Rocky Juarez's manager, Shelly Finkel, with a very worried look on his face, came all the way around to the corner to talk to Juarez's trainer.
Rayon Taveras, and in that round, Raheem had his highest CompuBox numbers of the fight for punch output, 83, for connected punches, 21. So Raheem is the rising tide now as we get to round 9 of a scheduled 12. And what a nice job, Emmanuel, that Zaheer Raheem's trainer, Fred Jenkins, has done, keeping his fighter in the fight and focused.
I think he did a fantastic job, not only just the strategy, but psychologically, because Raheem seemed to have given it up at a certain point, and he did a great job of getting him back in the fight strategy-wise, and also treating him as if he's a fighter and not a guy that's about to give up.
Robert Gonzalez is going to take Raheem to his corner.
Come on, let's go.
To observe the taped wrapping around the glove.
Get over here. Get over there.
Gonzalez sends Raheem to a neutral corner and takes a look at Juarez's wrappings, and now we go back to the action. 2:11 remaining in the 9th round.
Well, I don't understand. Juarez's wrap is loose too. I thought he was going to have that taken care of.
He did neither. And indeed, the wrapping around Rocky Juarez's left glove is streaming in the air. Larry, a viewer asks you, will Zaheer Raheem have a case for a protest against the referee if he were to lose this fight?
No, he wouldn't. Technically, the referee is right in what he's done, but it's unusual to say the least.
Not to mention, getting a protest fulfilled in any boxing jurisdiction is difficult at best.
He can make a case, and if he should lose a close decision, perhaps he
They may give him a rematch, possibly.
Possibly a rematch, or possibly he won't get punished as much in the rankings.
Ultimately, your best defense is your fan base. If people believe that you deserve a better fate, then often you get a chance at it. Raheem leaning in on Juarez, and we suspect that Zaheer Raheem may be the bigger man by 6-7 pounds, even though Rocky Juarez entered the ring tonight 9 pounds over the featherweight limit at 135. Raheem, we suspect, probably put on something close to 15 pounds after weighing in at 126 yesterday. That's based on Emmanuel Stewart's previous experience training Zaheer Raheem in the gym.
Yeah, I think he probably came in over 140 pounds possibly. But, you know, that's just the rules, and some guys get away with it. It just happens.
Both fighters have loose tapes on their gloves.
But right now, it looks very good for Rocky because Zaheer is standing there trading with him now more and more, and Rocky still is the puncher.
Cut it and put the more tape. It's all wet.
Here's a look at some of the confrontations between referee Robert Gonzalez and Zaheer Raheem throughout the fight.
Stop holding behind the head. One corner, hold him behind the head. One more time. Stop! Stop! All right. Hold him behind the head. One corner. One corner. Stop! Stop! Second warning. Get off the head. Second zone. Let's go. Let's go.
I would have penalized Raheem about a half a point for all of that.
I wouldn't have penalized him at all. Because he's just fighting with you the only way you're supposed to fight with a shorter fighter. But
in the 9th round,
the biggest
Juarez outlanded Raheem 14-9. First time he's outlanded him since the 5th round. Go ahead.
But I see Raheem seemed to be, to me, given a little bit mentally again.
Don't hold him. Don't measure.
Well, this is the moment at which Juarez is going to have to prove he can impose his will on a skillful fighter.
Yep.
The streamers have been repaired on Juarez's glove, but Raheem's right glove continues to float the wrapping tape out to the side.
No, they're both with tape flapping.
No, Juarez's has been corrected.
Like I said.
Right, step back, both of you. Step back, right. One measure.
So is the flapping tape on Raheem's glove a potential distraction to Juarez, or is he just not worried about
it gets to be a distraction, especially when it's flopping and maybe the punch I mentioned sometime the tape laces will still hit you on your face.
Juarez has been doing some good body work in this round. Raheem doesn't seem to be effective.
There's another right to the body.
Raheem is not really boxing as much anymore. He's basically pawing, and then going into clinches, where before he was changing angles, moving around, punching, doing a lot of things to cause confusion, but he's not doing that anymore.
This gives Juarez more of a chance to get inside and do his own damage.
Yeah, and these rounds can be very crucial right here, the last 2 rounds, especially with those points that was taken away from Raheem.
One more point. Hold me out of here.
Oh, my God. He gets...
Hold me out of here.
Well, this is going to make it impossible, in all likelihood, for Zaheer Raheem to win a decision. He's lost 3 points to holding behind the head, and he's lost another point.
But also it's taking his focus and his concentration out of the fight. He's spending more time worrying about the referee than he is about Juarez now.
And if Juarez can win this round, it's a 10-8 round for him. And so far, he's had the better of it in the round with his body punching.
I don't know Gonzalez. I wonder if he has a reputation for doing this.
I don't understand why he hasn't taken that tape to loosen and had that corrected.
I don't either.
It's as flagrant as it can be. He actually stopped the fight at one point for the purpose of repairing the tape and didn't do so, even though Raheem's tape was streaming as it is now. This has been a big round for Juarez, who has pummeled Raheem with combinations to the body.
This is what I expected. I could see this was going to happen sooner or later, because Raheem is fighting the referee just about as much as he's fighting Juarez.
Suck in, son. Take this. You can't be inside.
11th round. Stop holding behind the head.
Deep breath.
You want to be fighting in there. But you got to keep them hands up, break in, boom. Okay?
Here's the last time that he was penalized. Now his gloves are around the neck. There's no doubt about it. But it would seem to be a lot of these are should be no harm, no foul. Right now what Raheem has to do is
over here. The Vaseline.
Right now, this confrontation between Raheem's corner and Robert Gonzalez has become so ugly.
Now Gonzalez is absolutely right. They were slathering him in Vaseline.
Well, you suspect Jenkins did that on purpose just to set up another confrontation with the referee.
Well, I don't know if
I don't think he did it on purpose. It just happened. But, you know, they're nervous right now. They're realizing that they probably lose. They know they're about losing the fight with all these points being deducted. And they're just nervous right now.
Harold, how do you have it through 10?
Okay, Jim. You know, it's a point system, so at the end, whoever's got the most points wins the fight. In rounds, 6 rounds to 4, Zaheer Raheem, but it doesn't mean a darn thing because they got it 94-92, Rocky Juarez in points because of the 3 points Gonzalez took away and the 1 point, you know, for the knockdown. Interestingly enough, the referee is not supposed to wipe off the Vaseline because if the guy's got a cut and the referee wipes off the Vaseline, makes the cut worse, he's at fault. The corner is supposed to take the Vaseline off. And about the tape, the reason that the tape is dangerous is it can flap right into a guy's eye.
Well, they finally got the tape fixed on Zaheer Raheem's glove, and now Raheem comes back with one of his better offensive flurries of the past few rounds.
Raheem has to go out there thinking knockout.
Wait. No knockdown. Bow. Don't measure. Don't measure. Break. Step back. Break. Bow.
Uppercut, left hook to the body. One punch at a time for Juarez now, and Raheem landing in 3- and 4-punch combinations. Another big round for Zaheer Raheem after Rocky Juarez had seemed to win the last couple of them.
One more time and I'll qualify you. No, one more time.
There you go. We heard that. Gonzalez said one more time and I'll disqualify you.
I want to say to Joe Gonzalez, this is not amateur fighting.
Robert Gonzalez.
Robert, sorry.
Yeah.
Saw Raheem point down to the moisture after he slipped on it a couple of minutes ago. Then he shuffled his feet again.
Uppercut. Good right uppercut in there by Juarez.
Crowd cheering for their guy, Rocky Juarez, as he gets inside. Raheem lands another roundhouse right to punctuate the 11th round. Fight still going.
Last round, baby. Sam, how you feel, baby? All right, listen to me, man. I need a knockout. You got to find it somewhere in this round. Listen to what I'm saying, son. You understand? We're going to win this fight. You got to stop him. You got to get your rest in this round and find for the knockout. Stop reaching at his hand for this fight. You understand? You hear what I said? You hear what I said? Give me 130% this round. This is it. This is what we're working for. Keep them punches going, and combinations got to come out, son. Combination of 3s and 4s. Hands up. Suck up. Z, you got to suck in. Suck in, baby. You're doing real good. Just, all right. If you're not tired, keep boxing. I got to win this round. Don't stop.
When Raheem was told he's got to win by a knockout, he looked away as if he wasn't that much interested in it. For his sake, I hope he heard the message.
Now Fred Jenkins comes out into the middle of the ring to wipe the floor, and Robert Gonzalez physically throws him out of the ring. This has gotten ugly between the referee Gonzalez and Zaheer Raheem's corner, and particularly trainer Fred Jenkins. And there's the reason why Jenkins was out there trying to wipe the mat. Competitive fight, marred by repeated penalties against Zaheer Raheem for holding Rocky Juarez behind the head. Juarez may have lost the majority of the rounds, but almost certainly leads on the scorecards.
Yeah, with the knockdown and with all of these points has been deducted. And it's funny when he gets in close, if he would try to convert a right uppercut or a left uppercut, he would probably catch. There he goes. He would probably catch Raheem, even if he didn't clearly knock him down. He could get scored a knockdown officially because of the fact that he's sliding all the time.
Good left hook by Juarez. Big right hand by Zaheer Raheem. Raheem trying to unload all of his weapons. Now Raheem wants to tackle Juarez.
Right. Keep your punches up.
1 minute left in what has surely been the toughest and most instructive fight of Rocky Juarez's 21-fight professional career. They took a huge gamble putting him in against an extremely skilled fighter in Zaheer Raheem.
And both guys are fighting very good, especially considering the inactivity level of Raheem. This is a good fight.
Tough round to score. Juarez has been fighting to the body.
If Rocky would throw anything from underneath, he could get him a knockdown, I'm quite sure.
Missed with the uppercut. I was mentioning it was a tough round to score because Juarez has been affected inside of the body, but when they're at space, Raheem has landed most of the punches.
Yep.
And now down the stretch, a big right hand uppercut by Zaheer Raheem. Rocky Juarez takes it and makes it to the finish line.
It was a close fight with Juarez scoring the only knockdown, but those point deductions certainly seem to put the fight in his corner.
Harold, how'd you score it?
Okay, Jim, 113, 111, Rocky Juarez. Jim, there's no question. I mean, with all those point deductions by Bobby Gonzalez, Zaheer Raheem would just about have to kill him to win. 113, 111, Juarez.
And remember, the fight will be scored by two Texas judges, Hugh Eccles and Lee McCowan, and David Sutherland from Oklahoma. Round 4, point deduction for holding behind the head by referee Robert Gonzalez. And later there was a knockdown in the round as well. Actually, before that, there was a knockdown in the round as well. So that's 2 points taken away from Raheem. Round 6, second point deduction. That's 3 points Raheem lost. Round 10, yet another point deduction for holding behind the head. So that's 4 separate point deductions on the scorecards from Zaheer Raheem throughout the fight.
One more point. Hold behind the head.
That was the round 10 deduction there. 4 3-point deductions for holding and the knockdown. Final CompuBox numbers as you get a close look at veteran referee Robert Gonzalez, so much a factor in the fight. Juarez landing 10 punches fewer than Raheem, who threw 317 more punches over the course of the 12 rounds. In other words, an average of 27 more punches per round. Raheem landing at only a 21% connect percentage, but he controlled most of the flow of the action, although Juarez, stepping inside and getting closer, was given credit for landing 36 of his punches by 36% of his punches by CompuBox. Power punches. And here Juarez lands 5 more, although Raheem threw 98 more. Again, the 12% connect percentage edge for Rocky Juarez. All of that relatively academic in the face of the 4-point margin that officially belongs to Juarez as a result of the 3-point deductions for rules violations and the knockdown. And now let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Lee McCowan scores 115 to 109. David Sutherland 113 to 111. Hugh Eccles 114 to 110, all to the winner by unanimous decision. From Houston, Texas, still champion Ricardo Rocky Juarez.
Now, according to that decision, Juarez would have won a split decision without the point deduction.
Yeah, and you know, it's a very lukewarm response from the crowd, even though it's the hometown guy. The crowd is not that enthusiastic with the decision.
So Rocky Juarez gets a victory that runs his record to 21-0. Zaheer Raheem drops to 25-1. But in the eyes of some, perhaps, Raheem gains respect after a career marked by strange long stretches of inactivity and lighter competition than he might have expected. And Juarez's performance raises some question marks about his ability to handle a skilled boxer face to face.